Welcome to the Oakland County Megacast. I'm Tyler Kieft, welcoming you to our live 5 days a week look into all things Oakland County. Today, we'll be talking to local program leaders, artists, and more about topics important to people like you right here in Oakland County. Let's get into today's headlines on our website on civiccentertv.com on our local news page, where our top story today is from a friend of the show, Taylor DeSormo at MLive Media Group. Residents should wear masks in 4 Michigan counties, according to the CDC, as cases in the state continue to uptick. Michigan has 4 counties at high risk of COVID-19 as community level of transmission continues to raise as of Thursday of last week, according to the CDC. For the past 2 weeks, Michigan has had 0 counties at that top level. The CDC puts counties in 3 buckets: low, medium, or high levels of community transmission. The 4 counties at a high level are Kalamazoo, plus 3 counties in the Upper Peninsula, those being Delta, Iron, and Gogabik. When counties are at a high level, or as it's categorized on the maps that they use in this MLive article, highlighted in orange, the CDC recommends masking while indoors and in public places, regardless of your vaccination status. However, people with symptoms, a positive test, or exposure to someone with COVID-19 should wear a mask regardless of where they live, says the CDC. There are 34 Michigan counties this week at a medium level of COVID-19 community level of transmission and 45 counties at low level. Last week, Michigan had 15 counties at a medium level and 68 at a low level. The medium, or highlighted in yellow on MLive's maps on this article, are sprinkled throughout the corners of Michigan. Last week, the entire southwest quadrant of Michigan was at a low level, or highlighted in green for those of you watching on civiccentertv.com and on mymytv.com as well. Check out the map below in that article that's currently on your screen to see which counties are at each level, and then you can also navigate through other data in the graphs that they provide from MLive in this article from Taylor DeSormo, linked on our website at civiccentertv.com/megacast/local-news. When it was clear that the winter Omicron swell had subsided, the CDC relaxed its mask guidance in February, shifting from only looking at cases and positive tests to also looking at cases and hospitalizations. The idea is to prevent severe disease and limit the strain on our hospital systems. The CDC looks at 3 factors for each county: the percentage of staffed hospital beds occupied by COVID patients, COVID-19 hospital admissions per capita, and COVID cases per capita in each county. A county is at a high level when there are 200 plus new cases per 100,000 residents in the past week, and either 10 plus new COVID-19 admissions per 100,000 or 10% of the staffed inpatient beds are occupied by COVID-19 patients in our hospitals. There are other ways a county can also be at a high level based on the CDC formula, and that information is linked in this article. Michigan currently ranks 43rd in the U.S. in new cases per capita. Despite rising cases, Michigan still has one of the lowest COVID-19 case rates in the nation, ranking 43rd out of 50 for the past week. The only states with lower COVID rates per capita are Iowa, Pennsylvania, Connecticut, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Maine, and Vermont. States with the highest COVID rates at this point in time are North Carolina, Alaska, Louisiana, Mississippi, Florida, and California. Michigan ranks 40th out of 50 states for most COVID hospitalizations in the past week, but has the 5th most COVID deaths per capita in the U.S. from the last 7 days. 73 of Michigan's counties saw rises in cases over the past 7 days. That is out of course, 83 counties across the state. The most recent week measured was July 6th through 12th, which could be seeing higher numbers as a result of 4th of July gatherings. And Michigan has also tested nearly 1,000 more people being reported through those tests per day over the course of the last week. So per week compared to the week before, as numbers were down in terms of testing results coming back to the state during the holiday weekend. 11 counties saw their daily cases double in the past week: Sheboygan, Alcona, Baraga, Crawford, Lake, Aranac, Houghton, Dickinson, Schoolcraft, Menominee, and Manistee counties. Only 6 counties had a decrease in cases over the past week, those being Presque Isle, Lascota, Alpena, Gratiot, Berry, and Delta counties. Michigan's larger counties have also been seeing a decline in COVID cases over the recent weeks. Not this week, however. Wayne jumped 35%, and Oakland was up 33%, as well as Macomb, 34%. among others. You can see the database also included in this article and linked in this article from MLive. It's on our website, civiccentertv.com/local-news. Lastly, 37 Michigan counties are at a high risk for cases. There are 37 counties at high risk level or level E for cases. That's up from just 12 in the last week of data. The MDHHS has 5 risk levels for COVID-19 cases. A, 7 to 19 cases per day per million people. B, 20 to 39 cases per million people. C, 40 to 69 cases per day per million people. D, 70 to 149 cases per day per million. And level E, which was already discussed, 150 or more cases per day per million residents. The 10 counties with the highest COVID rates this week per capita are Gogabik, Keweenaw, Iron, Kalamazoo, Houghton, Washtenaw, Mason, Oakland, Hillsdale, and Macomb counties, respectively. Of course, there are tons of maps on this article that provide more in-depth information on that as well. Again, average test positivity is currently sitting at 19% for every 100 COVID tests reported to the state. As of last week, Monday, 19 are coming back positive. That number, of course, will be updated as Michigan's Department of Health and Human Services provides more information over the past week by about Wednesday of this week. Also making headlines on our local news page from Navya Gupta at the Detroit Free Press. Michigan medicine nurses march for fair contract and an end to mandatory overtime. Nurses and others gathered in Ann Arbor over the weekend to rally in support of a new contract for nurses at Michigan Medicine in order to add safer working conditions at the health system. Donned in red and carrying handmade signs, about 1,000 off-duty nurses and their supporters gathered in Fuller Park and marched around the hospital chanting for a fair contract for nurses who have been working without one since July 1st. The 6,200 members of the Michigan Nurses Association at the University of Michigan Professional Nurse Council have been working without a contract since July 1st and are seeking a pact that ensures the health and safety of patients and nurses. Speakers included Representative Felicia Brabeck, a Democrat from Pittsfield, U.S. Representative Debbie Dingell, a Democrat from Dearborn, and Nurses Union leadership described key issues under staffing and mandatory overtime that create hazardous working conditions for nurses and jeopardize patient care. Quote, since the pandemic began, it's nurses that are on the front lines, and closed quote, said Representative Dingell, who continued on by saying, quote, people don't understand what it's been like for nurses on the front lines, helping so many people, and closed quote. Ann Jackson, a registered nurse, said, quote, it started getting really severe in July of 2020 when Michigan Medicine did their cuts. They laid off 788 very important support staff while their jobs didn't go away. They just got given to the nurses instead, and closed quote. In a statement released Saturday morning, Michigan Medicine said it is continuing to work with nurses and their union to forge a new labor agreement. Quote, because we deeply value our nurses, we've put together a generous package that recognizes the value that they bring to our patients and our organization, Michigan Medicine said in a statement. Compared to the national average vacancy of 17%, Michigan Medicine's vacancy rate is at 5%, according to a statement from the organization. According to an association news release, nurses are seeking to end unsafe mandatory overtime, acquire fair compensation that retains nurses and outpaces inflation, and end understaffing through safe and contractually enforceable nurse-to-patient ratios. Quote, I want Michigan Medicine to give us an appropriate amount of staffing, safe staffing, so that we can provide safe patient care, said Renee Curtis, a registered nurse and president of the Nurses Union. Quote, that's what we deserve, and our patients deserve, and closed quote. Finally, making headlines on our local news page on civiccentertv.com, this time from Shantae Lewis at the Detroit News. The National Register of Historic Places has added numerous Michigan hidden gems to the list this year. 14 Michigan sites have been added to the National Register of Historic Places, deeming them worthy of preservation, the State Historic Preservation Office said on Thursday of last week. Included on the list are nearly 100-year-old former Detroit Elementary School and a maritime historic district in Leelanau County. Quote, from Detroit to the Sioux and from individual properties to complexes and historic districts, these historic properties tell the stories of our communities, our state, and our nation, said Martha McFarland Fays, Deputy State Historic Preservation Officer, in a statement where she continued on by saying, quote, they illustrate our shared history, foster a sense of pride in our communities, provide recognition of our historic places, and generate investment and economic activity, and close quote. The Luther Burbank Elementary School is located on the east side of Detroit on East State Fair. The registry said the school said that the school has locally significant to education and architecture. The school was built in the 1930s. The registry noted the building's Art Deco style, geometric designs, mainly bold symmetrical lines developed by Italian-American sculptor Corrado Parducci, whose works are seen throughout the city of Detroit, according to historicdetroit.org. Quote, the adaptive reuse of former school properties positively contributes to neighborhood character, well-being, and investment. We are pleased to see these three schools not only retain their special character, but also remain viable community assets in their next chapter, end close quote, said McFarland Faze in a statement. The Fishtown Historic District in Leland also gained entry on the list. The district is unique to the community's maritime and commercial fishing history with multiple structures. The registry said that the district has intimate cultural characteristics. The district, along the Leland River, has served as a gateway to Lake Michigan fishing grounds and the Manitou Islands for natural resources. Fishtown is at the center of the Leland community, said Amanda Holmes, Fishtown Preservation Society Executive Director. A property must be at least 50 years old and have a connection to local or international historical events or trends for consideration to be on the National Register of Historic Places. A property also must convey that significance through historical attributions such as location and design. The National Register of Historic Places is the federal government's official list of structures, buildings, and sites of historic significance enough for preservation. The current list includes schools, historic districts, railroads, houses, and more. Some of the locations in Michigan added to this year's recognition on the National Register of Historic Places include Walbury Hall in Bloomfield Hills, the Elijah Bull House in Bloomfield Township, of course, as we mentioned, Luther Burbank Elementary School in Detroit, Most Worshipful Prince Hall Grand Lodge of Michigan in Detroit as well, the Nathan Essick and Sarah Emma-Jane Sutton House in Northfield Township, the Elmer R. Webster School in Pontiac here in the Oakland County area, Garfield School in Sault Ste. Marie, Vicksburg Historic District in Vicksburg, Michigan, and many, many more that are listed in this full article from the Detroit News, linked on our website, civiccentertv.com, on our local news page, as well as those ever helpful links to accurate and up-to-date information on COVID-19 from the CDC, the MDHHS, and the Oakland County Health Division. We have a great program ahead on this Monday edition of the Oakland County Megacast. Up next, I'll speak with Craig Nowak from the Gesher Family Services, and then ceramics artist Luke Chen joins us at the bottom of the hour to preview his appearance at this year's Ann Arbor Art Fair. All of that is up next. You're watching and listening to the Oakland County Megacast.
Let's savor these moments, made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the dining out going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date. Can I ask you a question? Why do you want to get the COVID-19 vaccine?
I don't like getting sick. The virus will die. It will be easy to not catch it. Keep my family safe and keep playing soccer. Because I love being vaccinated.
What's your hope for everyone?
I hope everybody gets the vaccine to keep safe and strong. Be like happy, having fun everywhere. Everyone stay safe and hope you get the vaccine.
Wondering what to say to someone who's been sexually assaulted or abused?
I believe you. I'm so sorry this happened.
It's not your fault.
Confidential and anonymous help is available at the Michigan Sexual Assault Hotline. Connect with us 24/7. Call 855-VOICES-4 or text 1-866-238-1454 for help. Learn more at michigan.gov/voices4. Let's relish these moments, made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the festivals going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date. Now that the vaccine is available for children 5 and up, why do you recommend it?
Kids are part of the community and they can spread COVID. We're seeing both healthy children getting sick from the virus as well as children with underlying health conditions.
They can easily bring the virus home to other people that are vulnerable and make them sick as well.
This vaccine can change that and keep children safe.
It's essential that your children get vaccinated to protect them, to protect your families, and to protect those in the community around you.
Let's savor these moments. Made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the dining out going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date. Can I ask you a question? Why do you want to get the COVID-19 vaccine?
I don't like getting sick. The virus will die. It will be easy to not catch it. Keep my family safe and keep playing soccer because I love being vaccinated.
What's your hope for everyone?
I hope everybody gets the vaccine to keep safe and strong. Be like happy, having fun everywhere. Everyone stay safe and hope you get the vaccine.
Welcome back to the Oakland County Megacast, our live daily 1-hour show about all things Oakland County. I'm Tyler Kieft. Learn more about the program on our website at civiccentertv.com on our Megacast page, where you'll find information on our entire network of stations across the great state of Michigan, including My Michigan TV. Joining us now on the program is Craig Nowak. He is the Creative Expressions Program Coordinator at Gesher Family Services and joins us now on the Megacast. Craig, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks, Tyler.
Appreciate having you on. So there's a really interesting new program through Gesher Family Services. Of course, that is a partnership between JVS and Kadima, who have now merged into one organization. And it's in collaboration with the College for Creative Studies. And it's a really unique program that's giving a look into fashion and design, particularly for people with developmental disabilities. Can you tell us about this program and where the idea for this really came from?
Yeah, sure. So the Creative Expressions Program, which is a Gesher Human Services program, provides multidisciplinary arts classes, which means everything from visual arts to music, theater, etc., to people with mental health challenges, and in this particular case, developmental disabilities. So the participants of the Choices program were interested in fashion, so we put this class together with the Community Arts Partnership Program over at the College for Creative Studies, and now we meet every Friday, started on July 8th, and yeah.
So how do people get involved in this program? Because it's something that, like, as you had said, there seemed to be some demand for among this particular demographic that your organization is serving. So how have people gotten involved in it, and what's the progress of the program so far?
Well, it's an internal program, so you have to become a member of the Choices program within Gesher. So anyone who is within that program is able to join, and it's all voluntary. So they volunteer, they are taken out to the College for Creative Studies, where there's a classroom set up. We meet with a certified teaching artist, and that artist teaches the students. And we are currently about to be in our third class, and we've made a hat and tops, shirts.
This is a really interesting service and a really interesting class that's going on there. It's in partnership with multiple community organizations in Oakland County and in Wayne County and in surrounding areas as well, providing this opportunity to people with developmental disabilities all throughout Metro Detroit. So why fashion and design? How is that settled on as the main topic of choice here, particularly the main artistic choice in this particular
Sure. Well, with this particular one, there was an interest. It came from within. There were, people were talking about fashion. Some of the staff were talking about fashion, and as a result, we sort of developed the program. It's not necessarily the only focus that we have, but we, with the broad range of various art media that we use, it was something new, and we wanted to explore it.
So for people that do have developmental disabilities and would be participating in this class, how can working with art be a great educational tool for bolstering the education of these individuals, but also how can it be an outlet for them as well to express themselves through art?
Sure. So everything that they're going to be making in the class, which they make themselves, they'll be wearing, they'll be using to express themselves. We'll have a fashion show at the end of the class. So what they make, they'll have a chance to show to everybody and exhibit.
So is this a new program through Gesher Family Services, or is this something that's been done before?
It's the first time we've done fashion design. We've done a lot of other things, but with the Choices program, it's fairly new because the merger started in January of this year. So all of the programs that we've done with them have been mostly visual arts, but the fashion design class is brand new.
Talk to us about the collaboration with the College for Creative Studies in Detroit, because they are teaching these classes. They are working with the students that are, of course, enrolled in this class through Gesher Family Services. What sort of role are they playing in terms of the collaboration and design of this program, but also in execution of this program and working with your organization to provide these sorts of opportunities in our local area?
Sure. Yeah. Community Arts Partnership at the College for Creative Studies has been a longstanding partner of ours. We've done everything from graphic novels to mural painting, you name it, numerous classes with them. And how it works is basically there's interest within the Choices program. And then that interest comes to me. I work with them to develop this idea for a class. And then the leadership over there at Community Arts Partnership works with me to create the class, and then we start. We are given a certified teaching artist, and they have a curriculum, and it happens.
So some may look at a program like this and say that it's a great opportunity for people with developmental disabilities to learn something new, to express themselves through art. Others may wonder beyond that, beyond those couple of abilities and that availability, what sort of benefit this has to the greater community. But it particularly has an immense benefit to a marginalized community such as those that with developmental disabilities or those in neurodivergent communities. Can you speak to that and why a program like this is so important to individuals and to families in our local area?
Yeah, sure. There's a large population of people who have various disabilities within Oakland County, since I guess this is specifically referring to Oakland County. And those people are often stigmatized. They don't get the opportunities that everyone else does. They're not seen as the same. So what we are doing is providing them with classes that will give them these opportunities with no stigma. They make the things, they are seen as the artists or the designers in this case. And they're able to go out into the public and show off those things and be proud of what they've done.
We're joined by Nowak on the Oakland County Megacast. He is the Creative Expressions Program Coordinator at Gesher Family Services, a now merged organization between JVS Human Services and Kadima in the metropolitan Detroit area. They're currently running a Creative Expressions program that is in partnership with the College for Creative Studies located in Detroit, giving those with developmental disabilities look into the world of fashion and design. Of course, they're going to be taking these classes, making several different projects, and at the end of the classes period, they're going to be holding a fashion show as well. And he joins us on the Oakland County Megacast to talk about this. For those that are in this class, for those that are in the demographic that this class serves, in some cases, those with developmental disabilities, I think particularly of those that are on the autism spectrum, so often it is very tough for them to express themselves or to communicate with others in a way that maybe you and I would, or those that are not neurodivergent may be able to communicate on a daily basis. How does a program like this provide that outlet for them to express themselves to others, even those in their immediate family or their immediate circle in life, and communicate with them in a way that maybe they aren't able to otherwise?
Sure. I mean, like I said, the program provides them with an opportunity to make something that is theirs, to do it as they would like. They are given guidance, but they make that thing and then they go out into the world and they can share it with their families. Possibly that fashion show will be a way for them to share it with their families or their friends or anyone else that they associate with. So, yeah.
We're joined by Craig Nowak. He is the director of the Creative Expressions program at Gesher Family Services, joining us on the Oakland County Megacast. Of course, the Creative Expressions program currently doing their Fashion Fridays and Wearable Art program that is in partnership with the College for Creative Studies in Detroit, a partnership between many different people and organizations in the metropolitan Detroit area to provide these programs to people in marginalized communities here in Lower Michigan. Craig, in terms of other programs through Gesher Family Services, looking at this program and the success it's already been so far, the fun that's been had so far for those participating and those that are facilitating this program at the College for Creative Studies, what other programs are maybe in the works or in discussion that may be similar to this for those that may be interested in joining something like this in the future?
Sure, yeah. Gesher Human Services also has an activity center that is working toward becoming a clubhouse for people with mental health challenges. Through them and also with the Choices program, we did a large event at the Museum of Contemporary Art Detroit just a few months ago that showcased all of our art that we were making. Everything from studio arts, where we gave the artists professional opportunities, allowed them to submit to art shows, such as the Janice Chirrut Gallery, where several of our artists are exhibiting currently. There's also mural painting. There's some programs with the Detroit Symphony Orchestra. We've done a long-standing music program with them where our members get to perform and practice alongside DSO musicians. In particular, one of our main partners was Jeremy Krosmer through the DSO. He's a cellist at the DSO. There's also Matrix Theater, so we do a theater program, and we work directly with Matrix Theater where actors perform alongside us, and we did a performance at that event. And then Let's Art About It provides art therapy to our participants and members. And then we also work with professionals within their field. Lynette Lau is our writing instructor. She's a published writer and professional.
We're joined by Craig Nowak from Gesher Family Services, joining us on the Oakland County Megacast. More information on programs like this and more can be found at jvshumanservices.org, jvshumanservices.org, for more information on all the programs and resources and more provided by Gesher Human Services as they join us on the Oakland County Megacast. Craig, is this going to be the only time this year that this program is being run, or is it a possibility that another iteration of this program could be run later on in the year?
Oh, there's always a possibility. So long as there's interest, we'll make it happen. And so long as it's creative, it's part of the Creative Expressions program. Yeah.
That being said, if people are interested in a program like this or other programs that may be similar or maybe of other interest levels to people across the Oakland County and neighboring areas, how can they sign up for these services?
They can look us up at jvshumanservices.org. Through there's a phone number. They can contact anyone at JVS, and we can direct them toward intake and ways to communicate with our people and sign up.
That phone number, 248-559-5000, 248-559-5000, or as Craig said, to jvshumanservices.org. We're joined by Craig Nowak, the Creative Expressions Program Coordinator at Gesher Human Services on the Oakland County Megacast. Craig, another couple minutes with you before we'll need to say goodbye today. Anything else at this time that would be important for our audience to know about this special program through Gesher Family Services in partnership with the College for Creative Studies, or other programs that they should be keeping an eye out for that may be of interest to them or others in the community?
Yeah, actually, if you would like to see more of our work, some of the results of the various classes and see what classes we've done in the past, you can go to shopcreativeexpressions.com. Yeah, shopcreativeexpressions.com. There's a wide variety of information and links there. This also leads to several of our partners.
shopcreativeexpressions.com is the website for that, or go to jvshumanservices.org for more information. Craig, thanks for being with us today.
All right. Thank you, Tyler.
Appreciate it. We're going to take a break on the Oakland County Megacast. When we come back, we'll introduce you to one of thousands of artists and other entertainers that you will see at this year's upcoming Ann Arbor Art Fair. That's up next. You're watching and listening to the Oakland County Megacast.
Wondering what to say to someone who's been sexually assaulted or abused?
I believe you. I'm so sorry this happened.
It's not your fault.
Confidential and anonymous help is available at the Michigan Sexual Assault Hotline. Connect with us 24/7. Call 855-VOICES-4 or text 1-866-238-1454 for help. Learn more at michigan.gov/voices4. Let's relish these moments, made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the festivals going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date. Now that the vaccine is available for children 5 and up, why do you recommend it?
Kids are part of the community and they can spread COVID.
We're seeing both healthy children getting sick from the virus as well as children with underlying health conditions.
They can easily bring the virus home to other people that are vulnerable and make them sick as well.
This vaccine can change that and keep children safe.
It's essential that your children get vaccinated to protect them, to protect your families, and to protect those in the community around you.
Let's savor these moments, made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the dining out going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date. Can I ask you a question? Why do you want to get the COVID-19 vaccine?
I don't like getting sick. The virus will die. It will be easy to not catch it. Keep my family safe and keep playing soccer because I love being vaccinated.
What's your hope for everyone?
I hope everybody gets the vaccine to keep safe and strong. Be like happy, having fun everywhere. Everyone stay safe and hope you get the vaccine.
Wondering what to say to someone who's been sexually assaulted or abused?
I believe you. I'm so sorry this happened.
It's not your fault.
Confidential and anonymous help is available at the Michigan Sexual Assault Hotline. Connect with us 24/7. Call 855-VOICES-4 or text 1-866-238-1454 for help. Learn more at michigan.gov/voices4. Let's relish these moments, made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the festivals going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date. Now that the vaccine is available for children 5 and up, why do you recommend it?
Kids are part of the community and they can spread COVID.
We're seeing both healthy children getting sick from the virus as well as children with underlying health conditions.
They can easily bring the virus home to other people that are vulnerable and make them sick as well.
This vaccine can change that and keep children safe.
It's essential that your children get vaccinated to protect them, to protect your families, and to protect those in the community around you.
Let's savor these moments, made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the dining out going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date. Can I ask you a question? Why do you want to get the COVID-19 vaccine?
I don't like getting sick. The virus will die. It will be easy to not catch it. Keep my family safe and keep playing soccer because I love being vaccinated.
What's your hope for everyone?
I hope everybody gets the vaccine to keep safe and strong. Be like happy, having fun everywhere. Everyone stay safe and hope you get the vaccine.
Welcome back to the Oakland County Megacast, our live daily 1-hour show about all things Oakland County. I'm Tyler Kieft. Learn more about the program on our website on civiccentertv.com on our Megacast page, where you'll find information on our entire network of stations, including My Michigan TV. Joining us now on the Megacast is one of the over 1,000 artists, entertainers, and more that you'll meet at this year's Ann Arbor Art Fair. Luke Chen is a ceramics artist who will be at the art fair and joins us now on the Megacast. Luke, thanks for being with us today.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good, doing great.
Glad to have you with us. So you'll be at this year's Ann Arbor Art Fair that is coming up July 21st through the 23rd in 30 blocks of Ann Arbor. Over 1,000 artists, 3 different art shows, entertainment as well. A lot going on there. And so tell us a little bit about your art and what you create.
Well, I went to RISD, Rollins School of Design, for painting. So, when I first graduated, I was trying to pursue the painting career, but I found that what I do well is actually the pottery part of it. So, and from there on, I just started doing a lot of pottery work, and I heard about Ann Arbor art fair from one of my collectors out there in Ann Arbor, and Ann told me that it's a great show, so I applied and I got in, and this will be my second year at the original art fair. So, yeah.
So by study, you are a painter. How does that affect your approach to creating the ceramics pieces, or even combine into your approach to creating each of your pieces of ceramic art?
Well, I have to say, in the beginning, I really just treat the surface of the pottery like just a canvas, just for me to do my design on. But that's not what a potter makes, So over the years, I started integrating the shape and want to make my design make sense. My painting part makes sense with the shape and the functionality of the pots. And I'm still, in pursuit of that. It's always every day is a new challenge. But I'm pretty happy with what I've been be able to achieve so far. So, yeah.
So what did that transition happen between you going to school and getting a degree in painting and then working into creating a career out of creating ceramic art? Where did that change occur?
Well, my painting actually I do quite a bit of abstract type of painting, and the audience for that, it's pretty limited. And I also recognize, I'm from an Asian background, and we have a really strong tradition of making everyday functional arts that people can, something simple that people can appreciate every day. And, I'm just trying to think back about these little farmers' drinking cups, the little cups with just very simple design on it. And, it's functional and it's beautiful, and just, it's a hard life for farmers to, every day, from the farming country, and being able to have just a little happiness in their life, even drinking a little cup of tea and seeing a nice little design, make them smile. And I think I'm still in pursuit of that, every day. So, yeah.
We're joined by Luke Chen. He is a ceramics artist you'll see at this year's Ann Arbor Art Fair, July 21st through 23rd on 30 different blocks of Ann Arbor, 3 different art shows, entertainment, other activities, including artists from all across Michigan and around the U.S. and the world. You can find more information on Luke's art by visiting threewheelstudio.com. That's threewheelstudio.com for more information, or find more info on the art fair proper at theannarborartfair.com. theannarborartfair.com, July 21st and 22nd, 10 a.m. until 9 p.m. That's Thursday and Friday. Saturday, July 23rd, 10 a.m. until 8 p.m. in Ann Arbor. Luke, there's going to be tons of really talented artists and artists of different levels of notoriety at this year's Ann Arbor Art Fair, but only a select number of them can call themselves award-winning artists. You yourself have won several awards for your art. Can you tell us about some of those?
Well, it came as a surprise. I was at a South Carolina. It's called Artosphere. That's another pretty good art show. It's very selective, and I was in the middle of doing talking to customers, and all of a sudden they came and gave me an award, for People's Choice Award. And the past 2 years also, at my school, RISD, every year we have an art fair on the street. It's all the alumni. It's only alumni can apply. And 2 years in a row, I got a most Bridget, I forgot the name. People's Choice Awards again. So it's it's a wonderful surprise, and I'm very happy I connected with some customers, some audience that would appreciate that. So.
We're joined by Luke Chen on the Oakland County Megacast. He is a ceramics artist from Rhode Island that you'll see at this year's Ann Arbor Art Fair, just across the way a little bit, just outside of Oakland County in southeastern Michigan. Coming up July 21st through the 23rd. More information on Luke and other artists that will be attending, as well as entertainment and other activities in Ann Arbor, July 21st through 23rd, can be found on theannarborartfair.com. That's theannarborartfair.com, and you can learn more about Luke's art and see some of his art that you may also see in Ann Arbor this Thursday through the weekend at threewheelstudio.com. Threewheelstudio.com is Luke's website for more information. And so one of the awards you won was the People's Choice Award. That seemed to be one that particularly stood out to you. And being that you're a traveling artist, you go to these art shows and these art fairs, you're interacting with people that are, of course, buying your art, hopefully in most of these situations, but at the very least, exploring your art and talking to you and others about it. Talk about that dynamic and how that plays into your approach to the art and really even your appreciation for what you are creating.
It's a very awesome experience, sis. During pandemic, I want to say it was really hard. I mean, we tried to do the online sales, but there is a little disconnect, especially for potters. For potters, we need to, for example, a mug, we need to have the handle that's just right. But since everybody's hand is different, you have to make the right size for everybody, which is still a pretty big challenge. But online, you're not able to do that because you can actually hold the hand to see if it's comfortable in your hand, to see if the weight is right for you and the curvature is right. If you want to put the whole, 4 fingers in, or you want to carry it this way with just 2 fingers, all that kind of, that's just a tiny example. And, so being able to see customers, picking out every single piece and find the perfect one that they like, just make me so happy, and of course their critique is very important to me, so that, further instruct me how to continue and to modify my design, in the functionality part of it. So, yeah.
So, Luke, in some cases, you've explained that customization comes into play as you're creating these pieces for your customers. But in other cases where you're just creating a piece of ceramic art, where do you typically start? Where does your inspiration come from in crafting a design and then ultimately executing that design from the pottery itself? And then on top of that, the design that goes on the outside?
The inspiration is actually from everywhere, but I want to have a very personal example to tell you. Is about my brother. My brother is 19 years older than I am, and he was a retired high school principal back in Taiwan. We don't ever talk, because he left the house when I was a little kid. He started taking up photography. So he take pictures of birds and he posted online on Facebook. And I would like it. I was not even very big into birds, but I saw in my brother, who's also a mathematician by training, but he started taking pictures of all these really cute birds, with doing all the birds interaction and such. And I started thinking maybe I can use that in my design. So I started doing bird design, see, I don't know, this is a work in progress. And that's the connection I have with my brother. I would like the photographs that he posts, and he would like my end result of what I do. And now we ended up being best friends. So we're talking, and everything. So that's a small example of where my inspiration comes from. So.
That's what's so great about the Ann Arbor Art Fair is that there's so many artists, there's so many different individual art shows and art fairs within this that if you're going there, even if you're going for one day, let alone if you're going for 3 days, and that's just going more than once, so you can really get a full scope, is there's so many different artists like Luke that have a story like this behind certain pieces of their art or behind their approach to their art in general. It gives the community, especially in Ann Arbor, which is such a great town for creatives and for creative art lovers as well, to get that sort of interaction. So again, the Ann Arbor Art Fair, July 21st and 22nd, 10 a.m. until 9 p.m. Saturday, July 21st, July 23rd is Saturday, 10 a.m. until 8 p.m. in Ann Arbor. 30 blocks of the city will be containing 3 different art fairs as well as entertainment and other activities. And we'll have artists including Luke Chen, a ceramics artist from Three Wheel Studio, joining us on the Oakland County Megacast. His website is threewheelstudio.com, threewheelstudio.com, to see all of Luke's art. And you can also find more information on everything else happening in Ann Arbor Thursday through Saturday this week, July 21st through the 23rd at theannarborartfair.com, theannarborartfair.com. And Luke, as you said earlier on, you were told a while ago about the Ann Arbor Art Fair from one of your clients, one of your repeat customers. So with that, I would assume that this is not your first time joining us at the Ann Arbor Art Fair. What brings you back every year?
I love the city. People are so friendly. From New England background, I don't know if it's a cliche, but it is true. I feel this warmth, protected. I don't know whether because it's the art fair, everybody in such a good mood, and everybody, loves to meet the artists. But I feel welcome every single time I'm there. And the restaurants are great. We already came away. I already made several reservations, and the city the city makes sense, all the infrastructure, the city planning. So it's a wonderful event. And for them to be able to pull off 6 different offers together, I think that's just, an incredible organization. And if like you say, it's such a big art fair, you can spend all 3 days and still meet some great artists. So come early, and come visit us. So
yeah, go visit Luke and see some of his art in person as well. This year's Ann Arbor Art Fair, July 21st, that's Thursday of this week, through July 23rd, Saturday of this week in Ann Arbor. 10 a.m. until 9 p.m. on Thursday and Friday. Saturday, they'll get you out a little bit early so you can have some fun on Saturday evening. 10 a.m. until 8 p.m. in Ann Arbor. And as Luke said, it is a great city. It's tough for me to say that as a Michigan State Spartan, with Ann Arbor being the home of the University of Michigan, but I'll let it go this one time and give them their praises. It's a great town. Luke, a couple more minutes with you before we'll say goodbye. Anything else that we should know about your art, or any other previewing of art that you might be bringing along with you that people might be interested to see today?
Well, I do want to say that after the lockdown, every single art show that I've been doing, and the people really come out and support us. And that's so important. It's such a great encouragement. And to know that there's a great audience out there that appreciate fine crafted artwork, gives us energy to go on. A lot of fellow potters are feeling the same way. So, whoever's seeing this, come and really genuinely thank you from the bottom of my heart. So,
well, Luke, we appreciate your time. Thank you for joining us, showing us some of your art, and previewing the experience that many will be enjoying as they meet you at this year's Ann Arbor Art Fair.
Wonderful. Yeah,
appreciate it.
Tyler. Yeah.
Threewheelstudio.com is the website. Threewheelstudio.com for more information on Luke's art. And you can, of course, learn about everything happening at this year's Ann Arbor Art Fair Thursday through Saturday in Ann Arbor on 30 blocks of the city by visiting theannarborartfair.com. That's theannarborartfair.com. It'll give you more information on each and every one of their individual art shows and art fairs, on entertainment that will be there throughout the day on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, some of the artists and where they will be located, and more. theannarborartfair.com, as it really is a great show of the art-loving nature of the state of Michigan, the hospitality, that Midwestern hospitality that you get here in the state of Michigan. And it's a great way to support artists that really had a struggle over the course of the pandemic, whether they are artists from the Great Lakes state or neighboring states or all around the world that come out to Ann Arbor because they love Ann Arbor, because they love Michiganders who love art, and we love them back. Big thank you to Luke and everyone from the Ann Arbor Art Show that's joined us in recent weeks on the Megacast. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll kick off the Michigan Megacast with Dunya Barish from Families Against Narcotics. That's coming up next. You're watching and listening to the Michigan Megacast.
Wondering what to say to someone who's been sexually assaulted or abused?
I believe you. I'm so sorry this happened.
It's not your fault.
Confidential and anonymous help is available at the Michigan Sexual Assault Hotline. Connect with us 24/7. Call 855-VOICES-4 or text 1-866-238-1454 for help. Learn more at michigan.gov/voices4. Let's relish these moments, made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the festivals going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date. Now that the vaccine is available for children 5 and up, why do you recommend it?
Kids are part of the community and they can spread COVID.
We're seeing both healthy children getting sick from the virus as well as children with underlying health conditions.
They can easily bring the virus home to other people that are vulnerable and make them sick as well.
This vaccine can change that and keep children safe.
It's essential that your children get vaccinated to protect them, to protect your families, and to protect those in the community around you.
Let's savor these moments, made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the dining out going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date. Can I ask you a question? Why do you want to get the COVID-19 vaccine?
I don't like getting sick. The virus will die. It will be easy to not catch it. Keep my family safe and keep playing soccer because I love being vaccinated.
What's your hope for everyone?
I hope everybody gets the vaccine to keep safe and strong. Be like happy, having fun everywhere. Everyone stay safe and hope you get the vaccine.
Wondering what to say to someone who's been sexually assaulted or abused?
I believe you. I'm so sorry this happened.
It's not your fault.
Confidential and anonymous help is available at the Michigan Sexual Assault Hotline. Connect with us 24/7. Call 855-VOICES-4 or text 1-866-238-1454 for help. Learn more at michigan.gov/voices4. Let's relish these moments, made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the festivals going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date. Now that the vaccine is available for children 5 and up, why do you recommend it?
Kids are part of the community and they can spread COVID.
We're seeing both healthy children getting sick from the virus as well as children with underlying health conditions.
They can easily bring the virus home to other people that are vulnerable and make them sick as well.
This vaccine can change that and keep children safe.
It's essential that your children get vaccinated to protect them, to protect your families, and to protect those in the community around you.
Let's savor these moments, made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the dining out going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date.
Welcome to the Michigan Megacast. I'm Tyler Kieft, welcoming you to our live 5 days a week look into all things Michigan. Today we'll be talking to nonprofit leaders, parks and recreation officials in Michigan, and more about topics important to Michiganders like you. Learn more about the program by visiting civiccentertv.com and clicking on our Megacast page, where you'll find information on our entire network of stations, including our co-flagship, My Michigan TV, which you can also find at mymytv.com. Find all of their original programming live and on demand, including the Michigan Megacasts, as well as more information on all the different places that you can download their free apps for your smart TVs and your smartphones. Take My Michigan TV home with you and watch on the big screen at home, as well as always have My Michigan TV content right there with you in your pocket on your smartphone with the free My Michigan TV smartphone app. Joining us now on the Michigan Megacast is Dunya Barish, the Director of Operations at Families Against Narcotics, one of over 300 charities and nonprofits supported on the Share Detroit platform. Dunya, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Appreciate having you on. First off, for those that aren't familiar, give us a little bit of information on the history and the mission of Families Against Narcotics.
Absolutely. So Families Against Narcotics started around 2007, and there were many families in the community of Macomb County that got together because they noticed that there was an issue with opioids, and families were recognizing some signs and symptoms among their children. Schools were feeling the effects after a few students had overdosed, and they really felt the need to come together and do something about it. So they met in the basement of a church, and conversations just kind of grew and grew from there. Over the past 14 years, FAN has served over 7,500 folks, connecting them to resources, placing them into treatment, and getting them connected to peer recovery coaching and family coaching as well. We help families and people impacted by substance use disorder and really try and fill in the gaps that some may face when they're trying to access treatment and trying to just deal with the disease of addiction.
So, Dunya, what are some of those resources, those services, those programs that are offered by Families Against Narcotics to fulfill those missions?
Absolutely. So our biggest program that community may be familiar with is Hope Not Handcuffs. So Hope Not Handcuffs is in over 100 police departments across the state of Michigan. We also have a footprint in New York as well. We have 56 police departments there. And essentially, this serves as a safe place for people to go, and they go into their local police department, go to the front desk and say, I'm here because I need help, or I'm struggling with addiction. Can you call an angel? You know, any variation of that. From there, the police department calls our Hope line, lets us know that they have a participant in the lobby of the police department, and we send out an angel. So our angels are volunteers that are trained to be dispatched out into the community, and they really sit down and walk the person through the steps of what it takes to get into treatment. This looks different across every community in the state of Michigan. It's not a concise and really easy process. Every community has a different modality of getting people into treatment. And so really taking that community approach and having people who are from the community trained on how to get folks in their community into treatment has been something that's really been very impactful. In addition, did you have any questions about that?
No, please continue.
Okay, awesome. So in addition to that, after we created that program, one of the things we noticed was we want a way to stay connected with people that come through Hope Not Handcuffs. You know, many times when people are going through treatment, whether it's the first time or the 15th time, it's important to have a continuum of care. So at every visit to a police department or anytime someone calls the Hope line to get help getting into treatment, we assign them a peer recovery coach. And the peer recovery coach follows up with them and stays in touch throughout their journey. And it can be, you know, throughout their treatment process, they kind of follow up from there. And then they really just help them rebuild some of the different things that have gone on throughout their lives, whether it's housing, finding a job, repairing relationships, and really walking the steps of recovery. In addition to that, we created a family recovery coaching program because many times families that are going through this process just don't know what to do. It's a very isolating disease. And so a lot of times it can feel like you're the only one that's going through this, because you might be the only one in your family that's going through this. So it's really nice to have a relatable mentor and someone that can really let you know this is a healthy boundary and this is something that might not be so healthy. And that's been a program that we really value here because families typically don't know which way to go in these situations. From there, we started a comeback quick response team. So we partner with 18 police departments across the state of Michigan. And with the comeback quick response team, the police departments develop a list of folks that have had non-fatal overdoses in the community, and a peer recovery coach and a family coach actually go out with a police officer and do community engagement with those folks and do like a wellness check to see if they would be interested in treatment or in a peer recovery coach, or if their family would like some services, if they're not quite ready. That program has been a really cool way to engage the community, and has also, we've seen in some of our follow-up with our participants, some of their ideas around police officers and community and perception around that have changed once they've engaged with an officer in like a positive way, which is really important for the population that we're dealing with, because many times law enforcement is meeting our folks on the road. So that has been a really awesome program. We have a program called Stronger Together, which is a 12 lessons where families meet across the state. There are virtual meetings that people can find online, and essentially it's a group that kind of takes you through the steps of what you would need as a family member going through this. We have several different programs. Anyone who is interested in learning more about FAN can go on the website and learn more.
FamiliesAgainstNarcotics.org is the website, FamiliesAgainstNarcotics.org for more information. And Danya, you mentioned the training that's undergone for angels in this program. What sort of training is that? If people are interested in joining the organization in that capacity, or B, if someone maybe is in need of some of these services and they want to know, who are some of the kinds of people that are getting involved with them in their recovery process?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So I think this gives me a wonderful opportunity to tell folks out there that we are definitely always looking for volunteers. I think one of the things that happened to a lot of nonprofits is throughout COVID, we really seen some lesser engagement with our volunteers, and looking for people that are interested and willing to help out. So a Hope Not Handcuffs Angel signs up online, and they go through a background check and kind of take a look at what some of the commitments are with being an angel, going out into the police department, working with people that are struggling with substance use disorder. And our hours are from 8 until 10 p.m. But I think anyone can be a Hope Not Handcuffs Angel as long as they go through the training. We do a Narcan training in the beginning of every single angel training. And then there's a 2-hour training that goes through how to use the iPad and fill out the paperwork within the police department, and really just meeting people where they're at, coming from a non-judgmental place. Many of our angels have experienced this in their own life, whether it's a family member or themselves, or, they come from the helping profession, and this is just something that is really near and dear to their heart. So typically, anyone who is looking for services through Hope Not Handcuffs can expect that this person has an open heart, is just really there to help and help walk them through the process. We have some really awesome volunteers across the state that we so very much appreciate.
We're joined by Danya Bear. She is the Director of Operations at Families Against Narcotics, joining us on the Michigan Megacast. More information can be found on FamiliesAgainstNarcotics.org. It's FamiliesAgainstNarcotics.org. .org for more information. If people want to tap into these services, they want to get help from Families Against Narcotics. You mentioned earlier one of the ways they go to their local police department and make that call for help. What are some other ways that people can engage with Families Against Narcotics to receive some of these services or tap into some of the resources provided by your organization?
So there's a few different ways to engage with FAN. We obviously are available via phone. Our phone number is 586-438-8500. We're pretty much available, and you'll get a real person on the phone that will be willing to answer your questions. In addition to that, we can be emailed at fan@familiesagainstnarcotics.org. You can find us online. You can go into a local police department. And in addition to that, I think really another thing is just taking a look at the different programs to really see where would be a good fit for you and your family, and how we could be helpful. Something as simple as just even shooting us an email and kind of letting us know what their situation is. We're more than willing to help, at any time.
More information can be found on the website familiesagainstnarcotics.org. That's familiesagainstnarcotics.org for more information. They're one of over 300 charities and nonprofits supported on the Share Detroit platform. You can also find more information on their services and how you can get involved with Families Against Narcotics by visiting sharedetroit.org, clicking on there, find a nonprofit link, and then searching Families Against Narcotics for more information. And we're joined by Dunya Bears, the Director of Operations at Families Against Narcotics on the Michigan Megacast. What are some ways at this time that the community can support Families Against Narcotics? Of course, you mentioned the volunteer opportunities as one of the Families Against Narcotics angels. What are some other ways that people out in the community, if they want to support this cause, can support this organization?
One of the things that's really important about FAN that makes us really unique is we have chapters across the state of Michigan. And so currently we have about 20 chapters across the state, which can be found on our website under locations. And each one of those chapters meets monthly. And so they typically have a forum that focuses on a new educational topic related to substance use disorder or families or recovery. And at those meetings, you can get connected to peer recovery coaches and family coaches and to the various services that FAN offers. One of the things that we ask is that if community members are interested in this work, and if they are stakeholders in the community or people that really just care, to reach out to those local chapters and potentially say that you're interested in being involved, ask how you can help, and really just engage in reducing the stigma of substance use and making it easier for people and families to talk about this problem.
We're joined by Dunya Bears, the Director of Operations at Families Against Narcotics. More information on familiesagainstnarcotics.org. You can also find more info at sharedetroit.org. Dunya, just a few more minutes before we'll need to say goodbye, about 2 minutes left. You have a bunch of community events coming up, including a recovery baseball game at Comerica Park, as well as the Hope Classic golf outing. Can you tell us a little bit briefly about both of these upcoming events?
Yeah, so the Recovery Hope Heroes outing at the Tiger Stadium is really focused on giving people in recovery the opportunity to participate in events that help support their recovery, that they're going out in their community. And these are sober-friendly events. And so this is something that we've really been encouraging this year and trying to develop across our Hope Heroes program. Anyone who's interested in signing up can go to familiesagainstnarcotics.org under events. The same thing with our golf outing. Our golf outing is raising funds for our Hope Not Handcuffs program, which we talked a lot about, and it helps people get connected to treatment. Fortunately, our golf outing is sold out for this year, which is awesome, but we could always use sponsorships, or if you have any ideas on how you could support FAN, you can always reach out to me at fan@familiesagainstnarcotics.org.
More information can also be found on all these events and other opportunities in the future. Familiesagainstnarcotics.org, as well as sharedetroit.org. Dunya, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate having you on. We're going to take a break now on the Michigan Megacast. When we come back, we'll talk about some of our favorite things in the state of Michigan, our parks, with Ron Olson from the Michigan DNR. That's coming up next. You're watching and listening to the Michigan Megacast.
Can I ask you a question? Why do you want to get the COVID-19 vaccine?
I don't like getting sick. The virus will die. It will be easy to not catch it. Keep my family safe and keep playing soccer because I love being vaccinated.
What's your hope for everyone?
I hope everybody gets the vaccine to keep safe and strong. Be like happy, having fun everywhere. Everyone stay safe and hope you get the vaccine.
Wondering what to say to someone who's been sexually assaulted or abused?
I believe you. I'm so sorry this happened.
It's not your fault.
Confidential and anonymous help is available at the Michigan Sexual Assault Hotline. Connect with us 24/7. Call 855-VOICES-4 or text 1-866-238-1454 for help. Learn more at michigan.gov/voices4. Let's relish these moments, made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the festivals going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date. Now that the vaccine is available for children 5 and up, why do you recommend it?
Kids are part of the community and they can spread COVID.
We're seeing both healthy children getting sick from the virus as well as children with underlying health conditions.
They can easily bring the virus home to other people that are vulnerable and make them sick as well.
This vaccine can change that and keep children safe.
It's essential that your children get vaccinated to protect them, to protect your families, and to protect those in the community around you.
Let's savor these moments, made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the dining out going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date. Can I ask you a question? Why do you want to get the COVID-19 vaccine?
I don't like getting sick. The virus will die. It will be easy to not catch it. Keep my family safe and keep playing soccer because I love being vaccinated.
What's your hope for everyone?
I hope everybody gets the vaccine to keep safe and strong. Be like happy, having fun everywhere. Everyone stay safe and hope you get the vaccine.
Wondering what to say to someone who's been sexually assaulted or abused?
I believe you. I'm so sorry this happened.
It's not your fault.
Confidential and anonymous help is available at the Michigan Sexual Assault Hotline. Connect with us 24/7. Call 855-VOICES-4 or text 1-866-238-1454 for help. Learn more at michigan.gov/voices4. Let's relish these moments, made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the festivals going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date. Now that the vaccine is available for children 5 and up, why do you recommend it?
Kids are part of the community and they can spread COVID.
We're seeing both healthy children getting sick from the virus as well as children with underlying health conditions.
They can easily bring the virus home to other people that are vulnerable and make them sick as well.
This vaccine can change that and keep children safe.
It's essential that your children get vaccinated to protect them, to protect your families, and to protect those in the community around you.
Let's savor these moments, made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the dining out going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date. Can I ask you a question? Why do you want to get the COVID-19 vaccine?
I don't like getting sick. The virus will die. It will be easy to not catch it. Keep my family safe and keep playing soccer because I love being vaccinated.
What's your hope for everyone?
I hope everybody gets the vaccine to keep safe and strong. Be like happy, having fun everywhere. Everyone stay safe and hope you get the vaccine.
Wondering what to say to someone who's been sexually assaulted or abused?
I believe you. I'm so sorry this happened.
It's not your fault.
Confidential and anonymous help is available at the Michigan Sexual Assault Hotline. Connect with us 24/7. Call 855-VOICES-4 or text 1-866-238-1454 for help. Learn more at michigan.gov/voices4. Let's relish these moments, made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the festivals going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date.
Welcome back to the Michigan Megacast, our live daily 1-hour show about all things Michigan. I'm Tyler Kieft. Learn more about the program by visiting civiccentertv.com and clicking on our Megacast page, where you'll find information on our entire network of stations, including My Michigan TV. Joining us now on the Michigan Megacast is the Chief of the Parks and Recreation Division at the Michigan Department of Health and Michigan Department of Natural Resources. Ron Olson joins us now on the Michigan Megacast. Ron, thanks for being with us today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Appreciate having you on. So a lot's going on in our parks, especially in the last couple of years, as we have kind of gone into a different phase, or a couple different phases of the COVID-19 pandemic. People getting back out into the community, certainly back out into our parks in heaps and droves over the last couple of years in particular. And the parks are making improvements as well here in the state of Michigan, using American Rescue Plan funds, or ARPA funds, to improve many of these different locations. Can you tell us about some of these improvements that are being made at these parks and how long they've been necessary for?
Well, I started with the DNR in 2005, and we began an assessment of what our infrastructure was, and we did site inspections throughout all the state parks at that particular time, and we came up with a list of needs of nearing $300 million, and that included everything from sewer systems, utilities, water, electric, roads, and buildings, and bathrooms and shower buildings, and in some environmental situations, historic preservation, and improvement of and protection of cultural resources. And over time, our financial circumstance improved, and we were able to start working on those. Plus, we had secured grants and other funding, but we still, over time, and fast forward up to the more recent time, we still had, just below $300 million of things, because as things get older, repairs and upgrades need to take place. So when the recovery funds were made available by the federal government to each state, the governor had proposed, out of the nearly $8 billion of allocated funds to the state, $250 million to rehabilitate the state park system, to do a big catch-up from that list, which has been well known for a long time, but this was an opportunity. So that all transpired. The legislature very overwhelmingly approved of this, and it became a reality earlier this year. And we're now on the in the process of launching what we call a first phase of shovel-ready projects that are projects that had already been designed that we could put out to bid. And then another wave was projects that were we had identified and were priorities, but they went out for design and engineering work. So right now we have about $16 million worth of projects out in the marketplace to work on, but eventually we will address everything on the list. But that's our first shot in the last few weeks. We got those out to bid.
We're joined by Ron Olson, the Chief of Parks and Recreation for the Michigan Department of Natural Resources, or DNR. More information can be found on their website, michigan.gov/DNR, michigan.gov/DNR for more information and updates along the way on some of these many improvements that are being made in park infrastructure projects. So with the initial influx of money that's being allocated to Michigan's parks, through the state's ARPA funds, where are those initial funds going? What specific projects is the DNR starting off with?
Well, these happen to be ones that, like I said, were really already designed and ready to go to bid, and some of them didn't have funding, so they were sitting. One of them is at Fayette Historic State Park in the Upper Peninsula, was to work on some of the chronic needs of the historic town up there, because we have some different things, including masonry walls and others that are in chronic need of restoration to keep the town center and his historic integrity there. We also have at Straight State Park, we have $2 million worth of projects there. We have two toilet shower buildings primarily that will be replaced or renovated in the campground up there. We have Sheboygan State Park. We have campground electrical systems, water distribution, and some sewer upgrades there as well. Bay City Recreation Area. The state park, I should say, has the visitor center, which is one of the most heavily used and visited ones by school groups and otherwise, going through a modernization. That building is very old and needs to be more accessible and be brought up to modern times. And we have some work at Sterling State Park to commence some much needed eroded trails and pathways that go around the ponds there that were really impacted by high water situations. And Porcupine Mountains, we have a number of restoration projects there. And Belle Isle Park in Detroit, we have a huge project there to work on the upper part of the Anna Scripps Whitcomb Conservatory, where that was built in the early 1900s and is in critical need of infrastructure repair to the integrity of the structure, the glass and everything to keep that going. So those are just some quick examples of things that we're doing.
And so, Ron, how are these improvements, how are these infrastructure projects then going to trickle down to visitors of the parks, particularly Michiganders, but also those visiting the parks, and improve the experience of visiting Michigan's vast and varying parks all across the state?
Well, what we want to do, our goal is to create an atmosphere of a clean, safe, functional park that's relevant to people's needs and everybody's needs. And, so people will see improvements and in the park areas, and some of them will be very visible, such as we're working on some, parking lots or roadways, for example, that people will see. That'll be very visible. Some of them not so much. Water lines and sewer systems, they may not see as much readily, but certainly a bathroom or a shower building is something that people depend on and utilize. every day or more than once a day when they're in a park camping or what have you. So there'll be a lot of things that people will see, but what we want are people to come and enjoy themselves and not have to think about, well, something is not really up to snuff or the water's not flowing as well as it should or what have you, that the experience is very seamless, and that's the objective.
We're joined by Ron Olson, Chief of Parks and Recreation for the Michigan Department of Natural Resources, joining us on the Michigan Megacast. More information on everything happening in the Michigan DNR, including these infrastructure projects and other projects funded by the American Rescue Plan Act funds here in the state of Michigan, can be found on michigan.gov/DNR, michigan.gov/DNR. And also, Ron, there's been some proposed legislation or discussion about legislation that would make residents of Michigan have preference in reservation of park resources such as campsites. Can you give us your opinion on that, or your opinion on that proposed legislation that would ultimately give Michiganders the first right to check out and reserve areas of their parks here in the Great Lakes State?
Well, one thing to keep in mind is that like 88% of the people that camp and lodge in state parks are residents of the state. And so some of the parks that people quest to get into, like Ludington and Grand Haven and a few places like that are very, I'll call competitive to want to get in, they probably won't, even if that were done, probably wouldn't see much difference because the residents of the state clearly are the higher majority of that. We're trying to, obviously, to keep balance and encourage tourism and so forth. We'll have to see how it all plays out, but you know, it would provide a benefit for some, but the reality of it is that due to the proportions, there probably wouldn't be that much of an impact for the general person reserving the camp sites or cabins or what have you.
So what you're saying is that if that is the case, and such a vast majority of people that are reserving areas in these parks are Michiganders themselves, then is there even any point in this proposed legislation going through and making that the rule here in the state of Michigan? If it's not going to be of any really real benefit, then what's the point?
Well, I guess there's some people believe that will help, and I'm not saying it wouldn't, because there's always a chance that it would make a difference, because this has been in place for as long as I've been here, and since the reservation system's been put into place, and it seems to work very fairly for everybody to that extent. But yeah, like I said, some of the areas that people get understandably frustrated about to get into, those will probably remain, because unless you're right on there when the 6-month window rolls around, or in a case of a cabin, that 1 year out, oftentimes the campsites get booked up very quickly in that first few hours of when the 6-month window opens. So that's the reality of it. So I'm because we haven't done it before, we don't know completely for sure, but I'm just saying the statistics are in the side of the probability of it making a big difference is probably would be a smaller impact than some might think.
We're joined by Ron Olson, the Chief of Parks and Recreation for Michigan's Department of Natural Resources. More information can be found on everything happening through the DNR at michigan.gov/DNR, michigan.gov/DNR. And Ron, a few more minutes with you, and I want to give you a chance to speak on this. We've seen reports across many of the Great Lakes and even inland lakes over the past several weeks, including over the summer at some of Michigan's beloved parks on the water, incidents of people either running into hazards in the water or even being in situations where people have drowned in the water because they maybe are not following safety protocols to a T, or not taking the proper precautions as they go out on Michigan's waters. And of course, we want people to get out on the water in the state of Michigan. It's what brings people here. It's what people in the state love about the summer here in Michigan. But what are some of those critical safety issues or those critical safety precautions that maybe aren't being as followed as carefully as they probably should be by Michiganders and visitors that the DNR would like visitors and Michiganders going to our parks to keep in mind as we continue through this summer?
Well, I think that again, at our big beaches and along the Great Lakes, particularly Lake Michigan, that we do have and had adopted a long time ago the red, yellow, and green scenario, the virtual stoplight on reminders of the conditions when you come to one of the parks. And they do vary from park to park. Some might wonder because of the wind direction, and like Grand Haven and Holland, we have the navigational structures that were created by the Army Corps of Engineers that does create a different turbulence sometimes depending on the way the wind blows. And so we want people to pay attention to the guidelines. When in doubt, wear a life jacket. If you haven't been to a Great Lake beach before or haven't been there in a long time, it's a hot day, the water can be very cold, and it's always good to take extra precautions and to underinflate your expectation, meaning that try to be careful and slowly enter into the water and things like that, but be mindful of those flags, because when the red flag's flying, they're flying for a reason. It's because either rip currents are apparent or the waves are getting large. And we now have a new rule that was instituted this year where we'll have a double flag flying, which means that for temporarily you're prohibited from entering the water. And that's in cases of either contaminated water, debris in the water, or severe waves, meaning waves getting up to nearly 8 feet tall, or if there's presence of rip currents or other dangers that may not appear to be the case. So, and that's helped a lot. We really accelerated our public education. At some of the beaches, we have loudspeakers, but big signs when you come in. So when the red flags are up, even yellow, to heed the warning. But we would just say, when in doubt, wear a life jacket. If you have smaller kids, put a life jacket on them, and then you have peace of mind. And because these are natural resources, and that even in a designated swim area, that but in the areas particularly not, and people should not be swimming or diving or break walls. That's prohibited, but people do that or get into peril in that regard too. So, and also if somebody's on a paddleboard or a kayak, to be mindful of your capacity and make sure you have the proper life jackets and things, so that, and don't overdo your ability, because these lakes can be formidable.
Ron, we appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us today.
All right, thank you. See you.
We'll see you another time very soon. Thank you. More information can be found on all of this information, including the infrastructure projects and more, being funded by ARPA funds here in the state of Michigan, as well as safety precautions and rules and regulations that you should be paying attention to by visiting michigan.gov/DNR. We're going to take a break on the Michigan Megacast. When we come back, we'll talk to one of over 300 charities and nonprofits supported on the Share Detroit platform, helping to protect kids from neglect or abuse here in Oakland County, as well as in our neighboring areas across the state, including Outer Wayne County and other county areas and surrounding counties in Southeast Michigan. Romana Roberson, the Executive Director of Child's Hope, as well as Chad Osias from Care House of Oakland County, will join us next. You're watching and listening to the Michigan Megacast.
Can I ask you a question? Why do you want to get the COVID-19 vaccine?
I don't like getting sick. The virus will die. It will be easy to not catch it. Keep my family safe and keep playing soccer. Because I love being vaccinated.
What's your hope for everyone?
I hope everybody gets the vaccine. To keep safe and strong. Be happy, having fun everywhere. Everyone stay safe and hope you get the vaccine.
What Wondering what to say to someone who's been sexually assaulted or abused?
I believe you. I'm so sorry this happened.
It's not your fault.
Confidential and anonymous help is available at the Michigan Sexual Assault Hotline. Connect with us 24/7. Call 855-VOICES-4 or text 1-866-238-1454 for help. Learn more at michigan.gov/voices4. Let's relish these moments, made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the festivals going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date. Now that the vaccine is available for children 5 and up, why do you recommend it?
Kids are part of the community and they can spread COVID.
We're seeing both healthy children getting sick from the virus as well as children with underlying health conditions.
They can easily bring the virus home to other people that are vulnerable and make them sick as well.
This vaccine can change that and keep children safe.
It's essential that your children get vaccinated to protect them, to protect your families, and to protect those in the community around you.
Let's savor these moments, made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the dining out going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date. Can I ask you a question? Why do you want to get the COVID-19 vaccine?
I don't like getting sick. The virus will die. It will be easy to not catch it. Keep my family safe and keep playing soccer because I love being vaccinated.
What's your hope for everyone?
I hope everybody gets the vaccine to keep safe and strong. Be like happy, having fun everywhere. Everyone stay safe and hope you get the vaccine.
Wondering what to say to someone who's been sexually assaulted or abused?
I believe you. I'm so sorry this happened.
It's not your fault.
Confidential and anonymous help is available at the Michigan Sexual Assault Hotline. Connect with us 24/7. Call 855-VOICES-4 or text 1-866-238-1454 for help. Learn more at michigan.gov/voices4. Let's relish these moments, made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the festivals going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date.
Welcome back to the Michigan Megacast, our live daily 1-hour show about all things Michigan. I'm Tyler Kieft. Learn more about the program on civiccentertv.com on our Megacast page or by visiting My Michigan TV's website at mymytv.com. Joining us now on the Megacast is one of the over 300 charities and nonprofits supported on the Share Detroit platform. Ramona Roberson is the executive director of Child's Hope, which serves Outer Wayne County. And we're also joined by Chad Ozias, who is from Care House of Oakland County, which is helping to provide services to children and families in need to prevent or to mitigate issues regarding child abuse and neglect in Oakland County, Wayne County, and in several other areas in partnership with other organizations in Lower Michigan. Thank you both for being with us today.
Thank you.
Appreciate having you on. So, Ramona, let's start with you. Tell us about the history and the mission of Child's Hope and who it serves in the Lower Michigan.
Sure, absolutely. So I can't talk about Child's Hope without first mentioning Children's Trust Michigan. Children's Trust Michigan was funded in the early 80s to establish councils around the all 83 counties there are in the state of Michigan. And Child's Hope is the council that they selected for the Outer Wayne County area. We are one of 71 councils now in the state, and our mission is to prevent child abuse and neglect through partnerships, through resources, through trainings, and things of that nature. This is now our 37th year serving the Outer Wayne County area, and it's been an awesome job. Child's Hope loves that we serve all children, any child under the age of 18 we serve.
So what are some of those supports and those resources that you are providing to prevent child abuse and neglect in Outer Wayne County? Because it's a complicated issue and it affects, of course, the children heavily, but you want to go at the source of the problem also and try to relieve issues and ideally keep children with their families if it's safe to do so.
Absolutely. So everything that we do is about, we're bringing awareness, but it's about prevention. So let's address it before it actually happens. So we have trainings, and everything we do, first let me say, is free. We do not charge anyone anything for what we do. And we have our Talk, Protect, Report training that's open to the community. We'll come to you. We can do it virtually. And that, again, gives you kind of a general idea of just what to notice. What do you see? How do you know the signs of child abuse and neglect? And also, we have our Darkness to Light Stewards of Children training that is a focus on sexual abuse prevention. We also have our Talk With Me mentorship program that serves preschoolers. It's funded through the PNC Foundation, and we go into schools and we mentor children during the school year. So we also partner with organizations as far as our Safe Sleep is concerned, Mandated Reporter, you name it. We do a lot towards prevention.
Also joining us on this edition of the Michigan Megacast is Chad Zayas from a care house of Oakland County. And Chad, how does your organization then support organizations like Child Hope in order to prevent these issues in Oakland County, but also in neighboring areas?
So Care House, we are the Child Advocacy Center for all of Oakland County. So we have a program similar to Child's Hope here for in Oakland County for our prevention work. We also do intervention and treatment services for child abuse cases here in Oakland County. So we work directly with law enforcement and child protective services when there are any allegations of child any jurisdiction here in Oakland County. Kids get to come to Care House and be interviewed by a social worker instead of going to the police station and being interviewed by a police officer. So everything that we do is very child-centered and child-friendly in a way that we are trying to minimize the amount of additional trauma that child is going to have to endure by having to talk about what happened to them. And we want that to hopefully they only have to talk about it that one time when they come here.
So, Romana, your organization serves Outer Wayne County. Chad, yours serves Oakland County primarily. How important is it to have that crossover between these two organizations, being that these counties and especially Outer Wayne County, immediately neighboring Outer Oakland County, are right there next to each other, and there is so much crossover between the two? Let's begin with you, Romana.
Yeah, it's huge about the crossover because just because I may live in Oakland County, I may work in Wayne County. You know, I think about those, especially that works with children, whether they're in the school. You know, you're concerned about your own children. So what's happening in Oakland County matters, but also those that I'm serving in my everyday career. Those things matter as well. So we're constantly keeping communication with each other because we consider ourselves a regional kind of council. We have to work together in order to serve everyone.
Chad, same with you. If you can add to that, how important it is to have that cross-county, cross-organization support in addressing this issue that is complicated and affects families and affects children all throughout southeastern Michigan, all around the state.
Well, I think it's important for everyone to know some statistics. So we know that 1 in 10 kids will be abused before they reach the age of 18. So in Oakland County alone, that's 27,000 kids. So when you add in Outer Wayne County, you know, we're probably in well over 50,000. Yeah. And the work that Child's Hope is doing is to educate the community to prevent that abuse from happening in the first place, providing those resources to parents and caregivers and mandated reporters and all the people that are in the lives of kids that can be a part of helping to protect them, no matter where they live. So we want to make sure that we are providing those resources, that information, that education to both, the caregivers and parents and kids themselves on ways that they can be a part of keeping themselves safe, so that we can hopefully cut that number in half or continually do our best to put ourselves out of business.
Child's Hope, the Child Abuse Prevention Council for Outer Wayne County, in partnership with the Care House of Oakland County, both providing services very similar to one another in order to prevent child abuse and neglect in our local areas and in certain regions in southeastern Michigan. There are organizations like this all across the state, and that collaboration is incredibly important. You can find more information and resources from Child's Hope by visiting their website at childshope.org. That's childshope.org, or by visiting sharedetroit.org, where there are a number of charities and nonprofits in addition to Child's Hope, over 300 of them that you can support in the metropolitan Detroit area. That includes Wayne, Oakland, Macomb, Washtenaw counties, all different areas in southeastern Michigan. 300 plus charities and nonprofits online at sharedetroit.org. We're joined by Romana Roberson, the executive director of Child's Hope, as well as Chad Ozias from Care House of Oakland County on the Michigan Megacast. You have a big event coming up, Romana. It's the Children's Summit. It's coming up this fall. Tell us about the event and what that goes to support in terms of your organization's services.
Yes. So just living, you see that mental health is huge and it's so necessary. And every 2 years, Child's Hope has a Children's Summit. And this particular year, we're focusing on social emotional health. So it's about creating a culture of social and emotional wellness. So it's a 2-day virtual summit this year. So the first day is live, and the second day there'll be pre-recorded seminars available to anyone that registers all day long. So whether you're a parent, guardian, professional, there will be a subject for you to help your family, help yourself, help your community. So we encourage anyone to they can sign up to get a newsletter to know when that website will launch. It's in November 8th and November 9th. And so they can sign up to know when that website launches so they can register for free.
childshope.org/events. childshope.org/events is the website you go to in order to find this, or you just go to childshope.org and you can click on events at the top of their page on a computer web browser and sign up for the event. Virtual Summit is Tuesday, November 8th, streaming live 9 a.m. until 11 a.m. There's also a continuation of the summit on Wednesday, November 9th. Recorded sessions will be available all day, and those resources will be provided by Child's Hope as well. Again, to get involved and join, as Romana said, for free, and keep up to date on when you can register, childshope.org/events. childshope.org/events. At this time, let's start with you, Chad, in terms of the Care House of Oakland County. What are some of the critical ways that people in the community in Oakland County and surrounding areas, or anybody that's listening or watching the Megacast, can help your organization provide the critical services that it does in Oakland County?
Yeah, so I mean, we always say that we receive gifts of time, talent, and treasure from our community, whether it's volunteers in the number of different capacities that we have support from our volunteers, support financially through individual giving, event sponsorship, and those types of things. And then also giving your talent for, things information that you can share, provide to our kids, educational literacy, different things like that. Opportunities for people in the community to volunteer in their specific roles. So we have our CASA program, which is the court-appointed special advocates. And these are adults that are paired up with kids in the foster care system due to abuse and neglect situations. And we have a lot of CASAs that come from all different areas of education and socioeconomic background. We do have some that have a legal background, which is helpful, but it's definitely not necessary. And we really could not do the work that we do. Like Romana said earlier, we offer all of our services as well at no cost to any of the kids or the families that utilize them. So it really is through the support of our community that we're able to continue to do the work that we do and continue to add help the kids that need us the most.
And Romana, for Child's Hope, for those that would like to help in outer Wayne County, what are some of the critical ways that people in the community in your local area, as well as surrounding areas, can help Child's Hope at this time?
Absolutely. So first, let me say that it's every adult's business to be concerned about our children's well-being. So you can get involved in so many different ways. And the best way I can tell you to know what's going on and to sign up to get involved, whether you're volunteering, whether you're joining a committee, helping with a fundraiser or anything of that nature, is to visit Share Detroit. Share Detroit, we keep an updated page that tells you what's going on and the needs that we have, whether it's just making a donation or, again, volunteering your time. All of it is well appreciated. Our children need us.
Romana, Chad, just another minute or so before we'll let you go. We'll start with you, Romana. Anything else we haven't discussed today that would be important for our audience to consider about Child's Hope at this time?
Absolutely. So please, we ask you to just share the word that Child's Hope is here, and we are all about making our communities aware that child abuse and neglect can be prevented. It doesn't have to happen. You just need to educate yourself and learn the signs. It's all of our responsibility. It's not a hard task. We're here to support one another. There's so many different things that you can do. So please take the time to say, I'm going to commit to helping a child in our outer Wayne County area.
Chad, same to you. Anything else? We got about 45 seconds.
Yes, I would sentiment that it's really sharing about our work in the community, learning more about what we do. We're located just north of St. Joe's on Woodward here in Pontiac. The second Tuesday of every month at noon, which is in about 6 minutes here, we have an hour-long tour that we don't have any clients here in the building, and we're able to bring people around to hear directly from all the different professionals that do the great work that we do here at Care House, and learn about the different ways that you can get involved and help with us with our vision of impacting the safety of every kid in Oakland County. So you can find information on our website, which is carehouse.org. And also feel free to reach out directly to me via an email. And all my information is on our website as well. So look forward to meeting some of the viewers hopefully soon.
Chad, Romana, thank you very much for being with us. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
That is going to do it for today's edition of the Oakland County and Michigan Megacasts. Find all of our programs and each individual interview online on civiccentertv.com/megacast. You can also find updated info on COVID-19 on our local news page. Big thank you to all of our guests, and thank you to our crew, Jared Clark at the office of My Michigan TV, and Larry Nyland, our producer, for making this program possible today and every day that we broadcast live, 10 to 11 in the morning for the Oakland County Megacast and 11 to noon for the Michigan Megacast. That's it for this Monday edition of the program. We'll return with new episodes on Tuesday.